Welcome to a new video.
Please take a look at what we have back there, the RS6 AVANT. Aren't you aware?
How much I wanted to drive this thing. I already brought it for a week and I had to make this video for you. Thanks to Audi for lending it to me. Only 30 arrived in Mexico, let me put it that way. Only 30 arrived in Mexico and all 30 are already sold, obviously. And I had the chance to drive it, to be one of the first to drive it, because they arrived in November. So I think I'm the first to drive it, or one of the first. And well, I just have to thank Audi of Mexico for lending it to me, because honestly, I'm really excited. Rayado, can I say it's one of my favorite vehicles? If I had to make a list of my top 10 cars, it would probably be on that list. Because it has everything. Maybe you put the Koenigsegg on the list, but with the Koenigsegg you can't go to the supermarket, you can't put your stuff in the back and so on. So V8 biturbo with 630 horsepower, guys, in a vehicle like this is crazy. This engine is the one from, if I remember correctly, the Cayenne Turbo. It's the engine from the Rennsport Q8 and also from the SQ8. With that, it's more than enough. The Lambo Urus is a beast. The Cayenne Gran Turismo is a beast. The Rennsport Q8 is a beast. Now, imagine it in a lighter, more agile car and so on and so on. So this thing we have here, wow, we love it. We absolutely love it. The way it sounds and the way it moves, I can't even explain it to you. Guys, here we have the turbos, down here are the turbos, and there we have the downpipes. Now, first of all, you might be wondering why there's so much hype, or why people love this truck so much. And while I had it and was driving it, I asked myself that question just so I could explain it to you in the video. And I think the reason is pretty obvious. It's the best thing on the market. It's the pinnacle of this type of vehicle. And it is, I think without a doubt, this truck, the Rennsport 6 Avant from Audi, is the best you can find out there when it comes to this type of car. Now, the reality is that in Mexico and generally in America, I don't think people in North or Latin America are familiar with this type of vehicles culture. And that's because we're used to getting vehicles of a completely different style. We're pretty Americanized. And in the United States, everything is huge. The highways are 8 lanes wide, just huge. The parking lots are huge, so you can drive a pickup truck and you don't have any problem. So in Europe, it's completely different. In Europe, everything is smaller. People live in tiny apartments. The streets are small. Vehicles evolved in a different way. And over there, all the brands, they all have these little wagons. Even American brands make cars for Europe that they don't sell in the United States, North America, or the rest of America. So Chevrolet, Audi, whichever brand you want, Peugeot, they all have little wagons, which is like this kind of little SUV, which is a normal car, but with a bigger trunk. And that's why, because the spaces are very limited, so you can't have a big SUV. And so for work, a truck, for going on trips, for everything you would really need a truck for, well, you can't use it. So they made this kind of adaptation to the vehicle to make it a bit bigger, to make it like a bigger car. And over there, they sell a lot of them. Over there, station wagons, everyone drives this kind of car, everyone. And this is the best there is. It's the top of the top of the top. So I think, well, every brand has a really awesome one. BMW has the M version, Mercedes has its Aufrecht, Melcher, and Grossaspach Porsche has the Panamera.
It's like this type of vehicle, but this one is definitely for people like us who love cars, or at least that's what we think.
Or at least I'm speaking for myself, that it's definitely the most beautiful one. The Mercedes looks like a hearse, and the BMW looks way too tall. Weird, I don't know. You find faults with them all since it's such a strange vehicle, but this one looks perfect, not weird at all. So let's go see it. We're not going to talk so much anymore. And well, I want to show it to you. I'll explain step by step what the truck has and what I like, so you can see and judge for yourselves. But anyway, let's get started. First of all, I think I've said it several times. I always say this when recording an Audi, but I genuinely like it, especially the interior design. Honestly, I'm already, as Colombians would say, fed up with the screens. All the brands are putting screens everywhere, so Audi does it really well because they integrate them into the car. In the end, it's fine for them to have screens. They save a lot of costs. I imagine making a cluster takes a lot of time and a lot of money, and if you can replace it with a screen, it's much easier. The needles have a little motor. I guess you have to calibrate them. The one for the tachometer, the speed, the fuel, the temperature, they're all little motors. Assembling the cluster and more. If you can replace it with a screen for the gauges, it's much better and looks more high-tech. And I understand that. Now from that to just putting a single screen and nothing else. It bothers me that many brands are doing that. Practically all brands are doing that. Either a massive screen or a vertical one that takes up everything. Seriously, dude. I get the thing about screens, it's cool, but you can integrate it and make it look nice, and you can make the car still look special. With everything. And the screens, it's fine. The problem with those screens is that they look super generic. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but a full screen like that in the car, well, any car has it now. So I think Audi does it really well. Audi's screens are integrated. In the end, they're still screens. Here's the cluster with the small things. On this side, we have the air conditioning screen. We have the regular screen, which has CarPlay and everything. But if you notice, well, yes, they're screens, but they're integrated into the dashboard. This one goes with the console. I mean, honestly, it looks very refined. So, good job, Audi. We like it, we love it. There are a lot of details. Almost all the small details are in Alcantara, which looks great. The steering wheel also features Alcantara. On the dashboard, the doors, etc. Wow, I really like it. Now, what about the seats? What do you think of those seats, friends? Wow, in those little holes, well, the seats have heating or air conditioning. So if you're really hot, those little holes blow out cool air. It cools your back, it cools your butt. Great detail. The seats are beautiful, beautiful. We have this little detail with the seat belts that looks nice, right? The red seat belt would also look good. Huh? There, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like it, but just the little detail on the corner looks nice. We have Bang & Olufsen audio, which, to be honest, sounds really good. Normally, the bigger the vehicle, the more the audio gets lost. It gets lost a little. It bounces, it echoes, blah, blah, right? If you're in a small car like the C4 when it worked, the audio sounded great. So yeah, the smaller it is, I don't know, it just sounds better. This one, since it's a big SUV, I would have expected the sound not to be spectacular, but it really is. We know that Bang & Olufsen won't let us down. But usually the bass doesn't sound that good and all that, but this one really impressed me. It sounds really good. So when it comes to audio, it's awesome. But the most important thing, speaking of audio, is down here, folks. Now I want you to look at those wide little cheeks right there. Obviously, this is an A6 with upgrades. It's wider, has better brakes, better tires, better inner rims. Everything I'm showing you. But the fact that it's a wider SUV clearly gives it much more stability. But look how beautiful it looks. That please pause. As you can see now, you understand what I mean when I say it's the best of the best out there. When it comes to this type of vehicle, the wagons, this truck is a beauty. Now, I don't know if it's a truck or a car. What do you think? If they call it a wagon, I assume it's a truck. Many people, though, call it a car vehicle or use the masculine form. I get both sides. Would you call it a truck? I do. For me, a car is a hatchback or a sedan or a sports car. But this, for me, is a little truck, but a monstrous little truck on steroids. All right, brothers, let's take it for a spin. I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen. It's awesome. And guys, you know that the Drifter isn't really about this, but it has all the gadgets if you want to change the ambient light, change the color, and those little things that look really cool. If you change the driving mode, those things change. The exhaust turns off, then it opens up, and here you move that little car. It's a bit like Tesla. It tells you if there are cars on the left, on the right, if there are pedestrians, more or less. It keeps telling you little things. Anything else? Can you say it this way? Here it tells you the car's boost, which is appreciated, because when you step on it, well, while driving, obviously. It's more like when the turbos kick in, you go out and the boost comes in. It's the little things that are appreciated on a screen. We don't have much gas left, but let's go for it. We can change the driving mode from this side, efficient, comfort, dynamic, or Ren Sport. Hey, the sound changes. I don't know if the suspension does too. The driving mode is a bit more aggressive. Here we have paddles, just like any good Audi Ren Sport. Let's take it for a spin. Alright, brothers. Let's take it for a spin and feel this monster. Something I have to admit that I like about this car or SUV, well, I don't know, this vehicle. It's that people don't stare at you so much, and here in Mexico, man, I really appreciate that, guys. I've noticed here that people don't look at you as much. Sure, it looks like a tough Audi, but you're not in an R8 McLaren or Ferrari, yet you're still pushing just as hard. So, you kind of appreciate that a little bit. I understand that 99% of people who say they like cars, what they really like is getting people to look at them. And well, that's not the case here. So, well, I like it. I mean, obviously, yes. It draws a lot of attention, but not like if I were coming in the R8. Yeah, yeah, it's like you're driving a spaceship. I mean, just like that. There's not a single person who doesn't turn to look at you because it's short and wide, it's impressive. So this truck, this vehicle, that's pretty cool, right? In the end, are you really driving a demon? Right now you'll see when we step on it. It's crazy how this thing accelerates. And it's four-wheel drive. It handles amazingly. I mean, you go into a curve and floor the accelerator. And in any other car, you would have already lost control. But this one grips. So it's awesome because you can really push it hard. I don't know if in the Audi, in the R8 with rear-wheel drive, or in this truck with four-wheel drive, or how different it is, how much harder you can push the R8. Obviously, everything I'm talking about, I mean on the streets, honestly, people are really obsessed too. With what? This one is the fastest and this one has the best aerodynamics. And I mean, how many people in the world do you think actually use the aerodynamics of the Rensport from the Gran Turismo 3 Rensport? Actually, nobody. People use it to go out, drive a little on the road, and then come back. And maybe you take a curve hard, but you could take it just as hard in a Gran Turismo 3 without it being in Rensport, you know? So, I'm not talking about the numbers, yeah. In the end, the point is to enjoy the cars, and I think this vehicle is very enjoyable. When you drive, you accelerate much harder than in the R8 because it feels natural. Especially in Mexico City because it's naturally aspirated and this one is twin turbo. So starting from there, you have more horsepower and the naturally aspirated one loses power in the city because of the altitude. Starting there, on straights, twisty sections or between stoplights, this one is faster and grips well. So you can go on the highway with your buddies or your family and you can go really fast. So I think that's a great point for this vehicle. It's the most versatile thing there is. You bring stuff to load up, pipes to load up, maybe the engine you bought for the Z-Swap, you bring it. That trunk is huge, you can throw whatever you want in there. You're comfortable, the suspension is super soft. In the end, you feel like you're in a luxury car. Everything is Alcantara, the audio is incredible. But when you say you want it to be Rensport, the exhaust opens up and it gets super wild. Wow, I don't even know anymore. Modern cars, I'm so used to driving old cars, and new cars are honestly something ridiculous. Let's take advantage of the empty road. I'm already in Rensport mode and ready to go. Thank you. Oh, he's inviting you, he's telling you go for more drifting. What do you have to do? Well, listen to him, we can't let him down. Nothing, it's just that he really is a demon. It should be four-wheel drive, obviously, but opinions vary. If it's rear-wheel drive, I can just mess around. But I think that in a vehicle like this, yes, what I would look for is safety. Safety before fun. Because it's really crazy, very extremely aggressive, and that's what it is. That's the reason, one of the reasons why people love this truck so much. Because it's a car, but a crazy one. A family car with all the bells and whistles you can put on it. That's what this thing is. Does it look beautiful? Yes, and you can customize it. The price is 3 million. I think it starts at 3 million pesos, which is a lot of money. But well, all cars cost that now. A Chinese car costs 1 million pesos. I wouldn't be surprised if a car that's the best in its category costs 3. You get it? Are you with me? No? You get it? Well, honestly, yes. Is it worth it? It's definitely worth it. I can't stop stepping on it anymore. Wow. And it slipped there, huh? All 4 tires slipped there. It's really right on the edge, isn't it? I think if it has 630 horsepower and you give it 700, it would start to get dangerous, even with all-wheel drive. So it's beautiful. Do we want one? Yes, sir. Tell me, what do you guys think? I'll read your comments. Honestly, like I said at the beginning of the video, what do you guys think? No, that car is ridiculous. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there are feelings, there are. People's opinions are really divided. Either people love it or they see it and say, what is that? My wife Sophie says she doesn't like it because it's not really a car or an SUV.
And that's exactly the idea.
But we're so used to seeing either cars or SUVs here in America that when you see a hybrid, you think it's weird. And yes, they're weird, but that doesn't take away from how beautiful they are. So wow. And I think they fulfill their purpose 100%. Well, to have a ridiculously fast and efficient truck, and that fits everywhere. And, I mean, I think it's one of the most versatile vehicles out there. The type of vehicle, not necessarily, but station wagons really are, well, very versatile. And me obviously having one that's this sick, wow. Obviously, Yeah, it needs to sound louder. I don't know about the topic right now. Right now there's a serious problem going on. Well, it's not really a problem, it's actually a solution. But for car lovers, it's a problem. And it's all about the emissions issue. The reason why new cars like the Ferrari that everyone criticized for being a V6 and so on, the reason why they're making small engines and quiet engines, it's because there are already countries or unions like the European Union, and that's how they're counting. They're really controlling emissions, pollution, and noise. So one of the reasons, I suppose, why the car doesn't even make that much noise, because the exhaust opens and closes, but even when it's open, it's still a bit quiet, and I think that's one of the reasons. They already have them very restricted, they've got them by the ears. Well, the brands, so they really can't release a V12 car that makes a lot of noise and stuff like that. Well, literally not anymore, they don't let them anymore, so. In fact, I was watching a video about the new Gran Turismo 3 Rennsport that just came out, the new version, the 9922, and they say it's really strange. They say that one will last 2 years or a year, and then they'll release it again, the same model, but as a hybrid. That's because they simply can't anymore. They don't let Porsche continue with their regular, naturally aspirated engines and so on anymore because of emission problems. So yeah, we'll be thankful to the world, though I think there are many, much more efficient ways to control pollution than with cars. Well, gradually they'll keep banning it. And yeah, for those of us who love cars, the sounds and the smells, we're the ones who are going to be affected the most. And I think that's how we wrap up today's video. Brothers, tell me, what did you think? Tell me if you like this truck, tell me if you're on the team. What is that? Do I prefer a car? What is that? Do I prefer a truck, or are you on Team UF? Is that little suit a work of art? So, and tell me if you like the BMW, the Porsche, or maybe the Mercedes more. I don't think the Mercedes is in the competition because it's kind of odd. It really does look like, that one actually looks like a hearse, but maybe you guys think, no, the Mercedes is the cool one. But without a doubt, I would go with this one. For me, this one is perfect. The way the line drops, Rennsport, 6 Avant brothers. See you next time.